Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're all well. So then, we are going to be taking a look at a collection of adventures and modules for the Rules Light rum-infested TTRPG that is Pirate Borg from Limithron. Hopefully I said that right. I'm sure I'm going to fail on many of the names during tonight's show, so the regulars know what I'm like. I had the pleasure of meeting up with some of the guys from the team at the UK Games Expo at the beginning of June, and I reached out to them expressing an interest in taking a look at some of the expansions and the modules that have been released for the game, because regulars to the channel will know that I was a huge fan of Pirate Borg when it was released, and I consider it as one of the top tier of games that utilizes the Morkborg engine from Free League Publishing. So I obviously wanted to take opportunity to take a look at some of the expansions that have become available. And they very generously sent me a collection. So what we're going to do is go to the table and take a look and see what each of these brings to the game. My thanks, of course, to Limithron for providing all of these supplements for us to take a look at this evening. All right, let's go to the table and check them out. So here we go. We've got a variety of different things to look at here. Again, regulars to the channel know we were taking a look at some of the supplements for Morkborg at the end of last year, and I really enjoyed perusing through all of those many roll tables and all the different ideas that are sort of jammed packed into them. And it's great to see that Pirate Borg is sort of continuing that tradition of having lots of different kinds of adventures and modules and supplements to enhance the core game. I am also familiar that they recently completed a Kickstarter for several new products that I think are going to be fulfilled more towards the end of the year, so I'm looking forward to those as well. This is definitely a game that has got lots of material happening for it, and it's such an easy game to sell as far as your players around the table. You're going to play a game in the dark Caribbean. Your character is a bit squishy and not a bit roguelike. And that being the case, you know, if you've ever watched the Pirates of the Caribbean, you automatically know the kind of setting that you're sort of aiming for. Certainly with the skeletons, the crew of the Black Pearl. So I really enjoyed Pirate Borg for that alone. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So what do we have here? We have the Cavern of Cursed Tears, which is an adventure for Pirate Borg. We have Buried in the Bahamas, an introductory adventure for Pirate Borg. So maybe we should start with this one. I've received an additional card here for the Deck Ghoul. I don't know whether it replaces a card within this pack or it is a special one on its own. But I like this. I was looking at the rules before. Reminds me of some of the zombies in 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and 28 Years Later. So it's very timely, I guess. We've got a pack of reference cards that feature creatures, ships, rituals, and relics. So we'll take a look through those. This is the one that I'm going to have difficulty with, because you see, any Morkborg game has got to have a massive diversity of fonts that I can't read. The sinking of, is it Cafagan? I know it's part of the Cthulhu mythos, but this is why I was never invited back to join the cult. It's mainly because I couldn't pronounce any of the names and I was just an embarrassment to the rest of them. So, yes, it's the sinking of, and we'll just leave it at that, yeah? So, what we'll do is we'll take a look at this Buried in the Bahamas. An introduction adventure for Pirate Borg. Let's see what we've got. See, again, these games, they use every single page, and we have plenty of roll tables, so we're not going to get a description on the back, we're just going to get game material. Let's dive on into the front. And what I should do is I will put up spoilers, because if you are a player and you're wanting to maybe play one of these adventure modules, then you might want to sort of stop now, because I dare say we might ruin some elements, and of course you want that to be a surprise, don't you? Whereas of course if you're a games master, then you're going to want to stay and see what these adventures contain. So you have been warned. Alright, let's take a look. We got a hex map here. Oh, this is interesting. So we got a little bit, and I do like this actually, because I've seen this in a few games recently, having some kind of flow chart as far as how the adventure might play out. Well, this is handy because it includes all the page references. That makes it even easier. So we got a start here, an opening sequence. We got the island, we got a raft, we got rum. But who drank all the rum? We got another isle, and then we got the Caves of Seven Skulls. And we do have this long island, to which I can't read the font on it. Is it the Isle of Yuma? I'm going to say that. Let's hope it does have ordinary font somewhere. Oh, here we go. This is good. So, Buried in the Bahamas, an introductory adventure for Pirate Borg, the Dark Caribbean campaign setting. It's designed with first-time players and a new games master in mind. That's helpful. And while it starts with a railroad-style introduction, it quickly transitions to a sandbox, where you and your players will make your own decisions on how the adventure will unfold. It is optimized for one-shots, convention play, and for use as the first session in a long-term campaign. So that's good, I like that. So the PCs are novice sailors aboard the pirate frigate, the Tarantula, run by the tyrannical Captain Bloodwhip. So we get a little bit of a synopsis here as far as setting the scene. And actually, this is good because it is explaining to the GM what they need to explain to the players. So it really is holding your hand. And we got a little bit here, references to the core Pirate Borg book. We got little notations. That's helpful. Ah. And so we do have this, you can only just make out this lighter text. These are notations for the GM, so that calls, if it requires them to sort of point something out or to try and make something sound exciting, then it basically says here. So we create our characters. So first section is intentionally deadly to set players' expectations. Consider providing your players with pre-generated characters. Okay. But of course, we've got the link to the website that helps you generate a random pirate. We'll have to do that one night, won't we? We set the scene, click into the action. There's a bit of a time travel. So yes, we just jump forward a day. This is just for narrative purposes, not real time travel. We're not incorporating that into the Pirate Borg world. Keeping things moving. Mind the time, okay. There's a lot of time references here. Reward them and end on a high note. So it goes through the how the actual adventure will run. I'm liking this. So we got the opening sequence. So we've got a couple of adversaries here. The Black Skeleton Marauder. Black Skeleton Ogre. Oh gosh. And then do we have, yes we have an NPC. Skags, a weathered old sailor, and the first mate of the Tarantula. Again, there's lots of nice little call-outs as far as helping the Games Master. So I get the impression that we might end up... Are we going to be shipwrecked? We're certainly up against some foes pretty quickly in this adventure. So we end up on Conception Island. In fact, that was in the map, wasn't it, at the beginning? Yes, right at the start here. Yeah, salvage the wreck. Yes, I think we might end up becoming shipwrecked. We've got the opportunity to explore this island. This island is, what does it say, 3 square miles. With white sand beaches and one hill right in the centre. So we get a good vision all around. And it is the Isle of Yuma. So do we get to... Yes, we have to build a raft. We have shoal spiders. Why does every game include spiders? Okay. So now, once we do have a raft... Oh, this is actually a little bit of an adventure map, isn't it? Oh, this is cool. So we do have some encounters. I feel like we need to roll a dice. Let's see what we might encounter. That's a 5. Carrion gulls. D100 carrion gulls. Kettle in the air. And there's a little note here. It says Pirate Borg 87. I'm going to go with that. So that, of course, we reference the core rules. Go and find out all about those carrion gulls. I dare say we would have to fend them off. They probably think that we are an easy target while we're on this raft trying to get to the Isle of Yuma. Another map. This is really cool. I'm liking this. Only those with a heart of the sea shall pass the doors of blood. Okay, that's ominous. So, here we go. So this is our player-facing map, isn't it? We've just come from this island here. So we could have gone to this one here, or we could be going to the main island. Here we go. More fonts for me to struggle with. 30 things one might find. And there's a whole variety. And do we get to roll on this? It doesn't look like it. So this is just helpful for the GM. Again, one of the standout features on any Morkborg style of game is, of course, the art style and these use of fonts. I'm really liking the presentation on this. At least for the most part, you can actually read what's going on. I do find that some of the Morkborg games, it becomes a bit of a challenge. But you need to be able to read the adventures, surely. So this is Rum Cay. This is the small 2-hex island. Again, it's pointing out various points of interest. If we got the sea caves, the tide pool, freighter shipwreck, the Blue Hole, and Port Nelson. We've got a nice little illustration. Can't quite think that this is a proper port. It's it looks like a little, well, as it says, a little sleepy shanty town made of palm fronds huts, driftwood shacks, and a makeshift jetty. And dozens of tents and tarps. So not the best locations, but hey, if we have been shipwrecked, that's probably as good as it's going to get. We got then details of the Isle of Yuma. Again, I like, you know, this references of all the points of interest. It did say it was going to open out into a sandbox, so I think this is like giving us the opportunity to visit any of these islands, isn't it? And as we start exploring the Isle of Yuma, we've got a variety of different locations. And then we have the Caves of Seven Skulls. So this is a little bit more like a sort of a dungeon explorer, isn't it? Again, I'm really liking the artwork on this. There is just something about you know, black and white inked art I think is really cool. It always reminds me of reading the fighting fantasy books and the artwork that was there. So it's, you know, fond memories when I was a kid, first exploring sort of fantasy literature. So I like all of this. This is really cool. And again, regulars to the channel will know I've had a go at doing some maps myself. I'm not quite at the stage of doing it sort of isometric like this, but maybe in the future, we'll see. Oh, there's a treasure room. And then, here we go. So we do have some resources here. What do we have? Well, there's quite a few. Oh, this is really good. So, variety of different websites you can go to which you can get hold of items like battle maps, ship assets, which of course is the limit. I'm going to hope I'm getting this right. It's limit. I'm going to go with that. We got the Patreon, we got the database, we got the Discord server. Chocolate Hammer. It's an RPG blog. Okay, that's cool. And then what do we have? Roll table here. Well, these are the tables I always like to see. So the Recreator. Roll a standard set of 7 polyhedral dice to meet the team at work. Okay, so this essentially allows us to build, is it an NPC? So we've got talents, motives, appearance, history, archetype, and culture. A name. Okay, so we get a little bit of everything here. That's cool. I like that. And I especially like the fact that it is an introductory adventure, and they have taken the time to help guide new games masters through. So, yeah. Opening scene, yeah. This is actually very helpful because, of course, it refers to various pages. I think that this is a good starting place. It's not too meaty, but it's going to give your players a good starting point. I did particularly like the sandbox adventure that's part of the core rules. I thought that was really, really good. So that's kind of why I'm interested in taking a look at these, see how they might compare. So that was Buried in the Bahamas. Let's take a look at the next one, and this is the Cavern of Cursed Tears. I also like how different the style is on each of these. This is very stark black and white. We're now getting some colour in here. And of course, the greens are instantly making me think of Cthulhu. So let's see what we get. And this is, again, it's a different style of presentation. It's effectively a fold-out sort of free page card. But we'll take a look at the back here. So what do we have? Hundreds of years ago, a civilization built a ziggurat deep underground in a labyrinth of caves to preserve the spiritual memories of its deceased. There the souls were guarded and catalogued by an ancient being whose name translates to weaves tears into jewels. It communed with each soul and recorded their stories to share with future generations. When the civilization fell from grace, the cavern and its warden were forgotten to time. Recently, an eccentric scholar obtained a codex that tells of a cavern where tears turn to treasure, and he hired a pirate captain and her crew to help him find it. Secretly, he seeks the knowledge to speak with the dead. Okay. This is an interesting and very different sort of style of adventure. I like this. So we got some adventure hooks. Shall we have a roll and see what we get? Again, any excuse to roll some dice. D4, let's see what we get. We got a 3 there. So while exploring the deep jungle, the party encounters a deep sinkhole. There are signs that another group has recently entered. Ropes and ladders, camp supplies, footprints. Okay. And then throughout the cavern, dark stalagmites and stalactites, pools of stagnant water, human bones, lots of skulls, antiques. Each group of pirates has one waterproof lantern. Try using each room's description as inspiration, not as read aloud text. So we're going to elaborate beyond what they have here. This is where I think I'm spending a lot of time with AI now. AI could be good if you weren't too sure as far as how you might want to present things. Maybe AI could help expand upon it. Let's see, what do we have? So we have our cast of NPCs and creatures that we might be up against. We do have a raptor bat. We have D12 random encounters. I feel like we need to roll on that one. Let me find a D12. There we go. Let's do that. Let's see what we might find. That's a 7. What did we find? D6 spirit skulls. And the closer to 12, the more hostile. So, spirit skulls, let's find out what they are. Spirit skulls, I'm automatically thinking of the ones that are in Doom. So, floating skulls with ghostly bodies, terrifying but typically harmless unless provoked or beckoned by the adversary, we'll call it. More common near the ziggurat. Ziggurat? I'm going to say ziggurat, actually. Ziggurat. Let's go with that. Yeah, okay. I think the Doom idea, I like that one. So, we do have... This is a cross-section. Of course. Because we found a deep sinkhole, didn't we? So, this is number 1 here. This is where we actually found the hole. A 20-meter diameter sinkhole opens into a network of caves, vines, and ivy hanging from the edges. Sharp stalagmites protrude from the cave floor. Wow, okay. How do you get across there? So, come on down with ropes, move along the cave floor here, because this leads down into submerged tunnel, doesn't it? All the way along. And there's a tunnel to the sea. Okay, that's interesting. What do we have? We got the Bat Cave. Always got to have a Bat Cave. There seems to be some events. Again, I don't want to ruin too much of this. I just want to get a bit of an overview. But then we do have this wonderful sort of pyramid. 5-tiered pyramid made of smoke black stone. And of course there is a tomb within. We won't reveal what's happening there. So interesting. I like it, and I like this artwork. This is really cool. And yeah, this is quite a cool one. I think this is near enough an introductory adventure as well. I don't think it would be too difficult to run. I think the difference, of course, is this one definitely holds the GM's hand a little bit more, but this is quite simple. It's all nicely laid out. It's nice and clear. For my benefit, there's not a huge amount of fonts for me to try and master, so I definitely appreciate that. But it's an interesting little adventure. Doesn't say whether you can climb up here, but I think you could have quite a bit of fun as far as expanding upon the descriptions for these rules and just give you a bit of freedom, have some fun with it. And if you're lacking a little bit of creativity in a moment, then as I say, using AI probably would be a good idea. You could give it the basics and let it expand upon that. Yeah, I like this one. That's cool. Right, let's take a look at these cards. So what do we have in here? We've got 128 scurvy-infested cards for use with Pirate Borg, 20 ancient relics, 20 arcane rituals, 18 vessels and ships, 4 archetype captains and crews, 3 naval combat rule cards, 63 creatures, including beasts, undead, sea monsters, and more. Now I think that this essentially is a very convenient way of being able to reference all of the many rules and elements that are within the core book. I think that's the purpose of it. And that's a good idea. Because you can actually then just put these out on the table, can't you? That's I haven't seen any other of the games doing this, and I'm wondering, is this a unique card, or is this something that replaces a card within? Because that's sometimes what happens if they maybe had a change of rules, or maybe there is an amendment to a card. So let's see what we've got. I don't know whether there's... I'm going to go this way. So what have we got here? Repair. So is this basically... this is naval combat. But it could be the other way. I'm going to go this way through the deck. Chthonic octopus. Alien in origin. Naturally green but often camouflaged. So this is some of the creatures we might encounter. And we have... I guess this kind of looks as if it was some kind of etching in stone, mightn't it? Is that going to be... Yes. Oh, this is cool. These are the kind of things that you might find in some sort of jungle pyramid etched on the walls. So, cursed orca, death bloom, dire crocodile. Yes, I've seen the dire crocodile in the book. So these are just easy ways for you to basically reference the creatures you're up against. So a dire crocodile, overgrown ancient predators with thick leathery hides. They stalk their prey from shallow murky waters. Yes, wouldn't like to face one of those. Eels, electric coral, fossil shark. Okay, the hex chicken. Let's see what we got on this. Yes, demon chicken. So some sorcerers have the skill to cure disease and infection by transferring, and chickens make excellent plague repositories. Don't eat one. Oh, that's nasty. That's so bad. I like this. Mouth of 1,000 corpses. Necro swine. Yeah, this is cool. So we've got plenty. I'm going to look at this one. The three-headed monkey. These mythical creatures have been known to reveal the location of secrets and hidden treasures when presented with gifts. There you go. Three-headed monkey. Because we always like the monkeys, don't we? And a zombie sea turtle. I'm going to put those there. Because now we do have various sort of character or more humanoid NPCs. So we got the skeleton, is that Busan? Skeleton Captain? Deadeye Skeleton? Skeleton Hulk? Skeleton Lookout? Rank and File Skeleton? Skeleton Warlock? The Admiral? Okay, so maybe the Deck Ghoul goes in with these. Bilge Rat? The Grog Barrel? The Rope Monkey, that looks the same. So, have they changed the name? Maybe that's what it is. Because that looks the same. Let's have a quick look. Yep. Yep, pretty much the same. Okay. Leave that there. We've got Ghost Captain, Ghost Crew. So these are all of the various adversaries that we might encounter. The deep ones. Yeah. Siren. A coral shoggoth. Oh, what have we got here? So these are the really large. Oh, but we can make a bit of a scene here. This is cool. I like it when they're creative like this. So what do we have? We have the undead Megalon, and the Kraken. Yeah, don't think I want to face either of those. And then this looks like a big old turtle. Davy Jones. And the Leviathan. And then we have... These are some of the skeletal cannons and mortars. The Bane of Barbados. Like a massive... it's either a battering ram, but I think it's more of a cannon, isn't it? And we got some of the human adversaries. The Naval Mastermind, the Inquisitor, and then the Necromancer, the Sunken one. And then we come to these cards for naval combat. Are these to be able to... Yes, you can hand these out to various players so everybody can have a quick crib card on Naval combat crew actions, how to repair, drop anchor, ramming speed. Okay. So let's put those back. They were. And we can carry on. We've got some more. We got the carrion gulls. Oh, we just saw, didn't we? Carrion gulls. Possessive seabirds that have grown to love the taste of the abundant dead flesh in the region. They often stained blood red from feasting. They circle in flocks, attacking in swarms if any are killed. The carcass is one disgusting ration. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to eat those no matter how hungry I might be. Carnivorous plants. Brine piranha. These are all cool. So here we go. We then have some of the ships. A vessel from the deep. So this is very much like the Black Pearl, isn't it? Or maybe the Ship of Bone is. Maybe Vessel from the Deep is more the Davy Jones, a sort of galleon. And the Ghost Ship. And I obviously really like... Oh, there's better artwork on the back here. Forts. This does actually make the game so much easier. You can put these cards out on the table. There's our raft. Our simple raft as we try and escape. Arcane rituals. Call of the sea. D6 creatures can breathe underwater and swim 40 feet around for D4 spirit hours. So this is all of our rituals. These are nicely done. What do we have here? Looks like some inventory of items. A broken compass. A great old one figurine. Yep, we have some nice art. I think this is very useful. I'm surprised more games don't do something like this. Mummified monkey head. Skeleton key. Necklace of eyeballs. Cup of the Carpenter. I think somebody's been watching The Last Crusade on that one. An undead bird. This is cool. Yeah. No, these are very handy. I think having these set out on the table will make things so much easier. Okay, so finally, oh my goodness, I finish up with the one that I'm going to have difficulty with. So, the sinking of Cavern. The damned and blasphemous city of Cavern is risen from the depths of the ocean. I'm actually doing not too badly. Regurgitated by the frothing waves, long since tired of its noisome aura. Is that noisome aura? This contemptible citadel was not constructed by human hands, as is evident in its abhorrent architecture, yet it is humans now who walk down its fetid streets. The wretched, rank worshippers of aberrant entities use the city for foul rites, with aspirations of summoning one of the great old ones. Perhaps your ship struck unexpected land overnight. Perhaps you're inexorably drawn here by eldritch powers fast at work. Perhaps you visited the haunted city on the shores of your dreams. No matter, you are doomed nonetheless. Okay. I think I did okay there. That is better than normal. So again, this is a different way of presenting an adventure because this is all fold out. And as you can see, there's a lot. There's a lot to be seen here. Multiple roll tables. We've got factions, locations. We've got summoning a great old one, to which we've got a random name generator. And also it randomizes what type of armor it might have, what kind of attack it has. That's really cool. We bow to thy power. So what's this? Roll 3 times. Combination is it's special. Ah, so it has a special ability. This is really cool. It's quite a lot to sort of take in because of its presentation here. What factions do we have? The Wretched, the Deep Ones, the Crew of the Black Vengeance. It is Cavern. The Bival Tide, an obscure oyster cult, come to Cavern to feast on unwary cultists and pirates alike, their flesh and blood enabling the enlightenment of the occult mollusks. I want to roll on a table somewhere. What can I roll? I feel like I want to. Oh gosh, let's see. D8. Let's give it a go. Oh no, wrong dice. Where is it? There it is. Let's roll for a name. It's an 8. So Oslinus. See, I can say that. Oslinus, the Shapeless Tide. Oh, I can guess I can roll again, can't I? So what is it? Oslinus, the Bloated. There we go. I like that. That sounds good. This is really cool. It is a lot. What do we have on the other side here? Oh, right. Wow. You know that we like a good map to explore. The good thing about, obviously, everything that we've seen here this evening is that there are PDFs for all of this. So you could put this down for your players. This is what they're getting, because this is obviously a perfect sandbox area for your players to explore, while you're on your tablet looking at the opposite side to be able to know what all these locations of interest are, because of course there's nothing labelled here. I guess where would we start? Let's have a move back over. The only way for you to determine is from this little guide here, isn't it? Is there a starting place? Because we've just found ourselves in the city. The wretched come clothed in salt and flesh to summon the messengers of the drowned gods. Oh gosh. Wow. So basically, yes, we have got a bit of a ticking clock happening. I guess we're meant to try and get to some kind of temple. Is that where we're able to escape? We do have we've got a carved meteorite in the form of a colossal cube. I love the imagination that goes into making something like this. This is cool. This is really good. Yeah. So we've got summoning an old one. Oh, we got encounters. So locations, the Temple of... Oh, I feel like I want to do that. Let's have a go at this. Again, it's another D8. So let's just do a simple D8. 7. The Hall of Spectral Treasures. It looks abyssal ivory protrusions. Got a rusting atmosphere. And there is a coral shoggoth. And we do have a page reference, so you can find the details in the actual core book. But of course, you've got the reference cards. You could find it there as well, couldn't you? Make it nice and easy. We've got D10 encounters, risen, sunken, and adversaries. Depending what type of encounter you want to throw at your players. So yes, it's getting to the temple. But it doesn't necessarily... So each of these locations has... Let's just pick one here. So let's see what we get. Constructed by the Star Seon's aberrant geometry, twisted mortal minds to despair. Spawn of the stars lurk here, communing with the elder evils who fill the black space of the firmament even. So we get a little bit of sort of flavor text as far as the location. Do we then jump to this location table to basically get a little bit more detail as to what it is? And then do we roll on the encounters? I think that's probably how it goes, isn't it? We do have a table for treasures. Treasures are good. So pretty much, yeah. I guess we've got an entire area to explore. We get a little bit of description on each of the locations. We can get a little bit more detail here. We roll for what type of encounter we might experience. If we're successful, we can roll for our treasures. But ultimately, once our players get to this primary temple, we can roll for our great old one, which we can fight off against that. And then we do have an additional location for us to explore and hopefully get off this sinking city before this psalm runs out, and that will be the end of it, because of course everything's always against the sort of ticking clock, isn't it? So where's number 5? There's number 5. We've got sacrificial pool. Oh, okay. Oh yes, that's not good. So I like this. It's for me, the one thing it lacks is having a little bit of section where, just like in the introductory adventure, just to guide you through what things you should be doing. I think what I've sort of worked out seems logical enough. You've got all the tables to be able to do things with, but to have had something that just explained for anybody new who's not sure, that probably would have been helpful. But yeah, again, I like the difference of presentation here. I think that's quite cool. And of course we do get this wonderful map to enjoy. Again, I suppose it's down to the Games Master, allows them to sort of decide where the players are starting from. They could put them anywhere, couldn't they? And I like the fact of the introduction is so vague. How did you get here? It doesn't really matter. You're here. Don't worry about it. Let's not get bogged down in little detail like that. I do want to know what's in that door. I'm going to find out. That's the one thing I want to know. Is the door in here? Yes, it is. The abyssal gate leads to the abyssal depths. Should never be opened. Bloated, drowned corpses hung from the lintel, guarded by unspeakable horrors under the command of the wretched. Nearby pods, sunk into stone, contain aquatic mutants of despicable countenance. That's cool. I'm glad that anything that you point at, there is a little bit of a description. I feel though that people would want to go in there. There's always somebody. Does it have a... Yes, it does have a... Ah. So we do actually have this altar, once used for black rites, now home to the shipwrecked crew of the Black Vengeance, who long to leave Cavern more than anything. They eke out a living through fishing and fighting, fending off the cult each day on blood-stained stairs. Ah, that's interesting. Yes, I like this. Yeah, the sandbox is actually a good idea. I'm liking that. So, does the ocean recede a little bit and this becomes the stairs, and so the cultists come along trying to take them out? It's a shame we don't have the sort of the ship here as a bit of a reference, but of course that's the whole point, isn't it? They don't have a vessel for them to be able to leave. This is cool. I like this. Yeah. Again, a little bit it's different in its presentation, so possibly it's a little hard to get your mind around initially, but I think, you know, just sitting down with it, just reading through fully, but I think that makes sense. So I think this is quite cool. This is very good. And of course, because the designers have a very active community, you could always put a question in on the Discord to basically say, hey, how do we do this one? And I'm sure somebody would be more than happy to assist. So the sinking of Cavern, gonna go with that. So there we go. That's it, guys. That's a number of different adventure modules to enhance your games of Pirate Borg. I really like them. I like them all. And of course, we took a look at the reference cards that make playing the game just that little bit easier. Being able to hand out the cards and put them on the table so everybody can see the details. So yeah, I really like these. I think I do like this one, this Cavern of the Cursed Tears. I think that's quite cool. But I appreciate this Buried in the Bahamas for introducing new players with ease, and of course the new Games Masters as well. And I'm looking forward to the new products in the range that were recently on Kickstarter, and that will be available before the end of the year. I believe that there is a starter set for Pirate Borg, so bringing some of this element to make it even easier to get into the game, that's always really, really good. So I'm looking forward to taking a look at that. And then there was 2 books that added more adventures to be able to play. So yes, I will look forward to seeing those in due course. If you found any of these of interest, there are links in the video description, so go and check them out. Delivery was super quick, so you could be playing these in no time. There will be a show next week, more than likely on Wednesday, and we'll be looking at some other kind of accessories that will help enhance your games, probably for a multitude of different kinds of role-playing games, mainly on the sort of the fantasy side, but you might find inspiration for other games. I'm going to leave that very ominous. You can of course keep an eye on the channel's social media sites. I'll be teasing it over the weekend, and I hope that you will join me next week when we unbox another set of products. But thanks for your company, and until next time, bye for now.